This is Rhonda Brooks of Farm Journal Media, and I'm here today. I'm talking with Randy Schlatter, who is the Intellectual Property Manager for Pioneer. And Randy, we've been talking about soybeans and specifically the topic of patents. And I know 2015 is a date that we've been discussing. Can you tell our listeners and our readers a little bit about what's going on?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Rhonda. It's as we look at 2015, there's a lot of confusion, I think, and some misinformation in the marketplace as far as what happens when that Roundup One trait comes off patent. And the first thing that we really want to make sure our producers understand is that just because that Roundup gene is off patent doesn't mean that it's acceptable to brown bag or bin run Pioneer products. We have over 225 patents that cover our soybean lineup, as well as PVP certificates and contracts. And so in those three buckets of intellectual property, we're really looking at moving through 2015 and making it or it becoming a non-event.
Okay, so kind of backtracking, the message that you want farmers to know is that there's still patents on those beans.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. And what did some of those patents cover?
So the four big buckets that our patents cover are breeding technologies. So the AYT system, for example, is a breeding technology that's covered by a patent. Native traits, so those traits like cyst nematode resistance are still a trait, but it's a native trait and it's patented. Mm-hmm. Then we also have a varietal patent on every variety that we have, and whether that's a Roundup or a glyphosate resistant or a conventional bean, those still have a varietal patent on them.
Okay. The other thing we were talking about that I think is a good thing to hit upon is just, when you evaluate, especially today, bin run beans, what that might yield or bring to the farmer's pocket at the end of harvest versus buying a product that's been treated. Tell us a little bit about that, compare contrast, if you will.
Sure. Yeah, and Pioneer's in the business to bring value to a customer. We have to have a mutually beneficial relationship. We need to make a profit. That customer needs to make a profit. And the best way to do that is to plant that fresh certified seed every year. As producers get bigger and the game is more risky almost, the bigger we get, the higher the commodity prices are. It really makes sense every year. There's about 1,001 reasons that it makes sense to buy that seed every year. So we really feel there's a lot of value in that bag, as well as in the services that our independent sales reps are bringing. And those services like seed treatment, bulk delivery, on-farm delivery, our fit suite, the mapping that we bring there. So all of that designed, to bring a value that is so great that it doesn't make, something that's coming out of the bin look that attractive.
So Randy, we're talking about patents, obviously, but tell us why our patents, why should farmers care?
Sure. Ultimately, the thing about patents and strong intellectual property and strong intellectual property protection and why that's so important is because it ultimately benefits that producer. You have to have a system where you have revenue coming in so that you can take part of that revenue and put it into R&D to come out with new products that will benefit that customer. If we don't have that revenue stream today, we're not going to be able to come out with those products that are solving those problems that we're going to have in the future. Mm-hmm. So we got to make sure that the whole industry is able to move forward, and so that we don't take a step back.